The clock was ticking. In the sterile, cold silence of the shelter, the only sound was the slow, rhythmic drip of a leaky faucet, each drop a countdown to the end. For a scruffy, nameless terrier mix in cage number 7, time was running out. He was deemed unadoptable. Too scared, too quiet, too broken. He didn't bark or wag his tail. He just sat in the back of his cage, a pair of amber eyes watching the world, with a sorrow so profound it was almost invisible. The staff had made the difficult decision. His final appointment was scheduled for the morning. No one noticed the faint smell of smoke beginning to snake its way through the ventilation system. The shelter was a place of last chances, built of concrete and chain-link fences, a place where hope often came to die. Tonight, it was becoming a tomb of fire. A faulty wire in the laundry room had sparked, and the flames, hungry and merciless, began to feast on old newspapers and cleaning supplies. The night shift worker, a young volunteer named Chloe, was in the office, headphones on, oblivious to the growing danger. The smoke detectors, old and neglected, remained silent. But the dog in cage 7, the one the world had given up on, was suddenly alert. His ears perked, his nose twitched, deciphering the acrid message in the air. It wasn't the smell of fear or sadness he knew so well. This was something else, something primal. However, he did not panic. He did not bark or howl. A strange, unnerving calm settled over him. He pressed his body against the cage door, testing its latch with a focused determination that no one had ever seen in him. It was a flimsy lock, meant to contain a defeated spirit, not a determined one. With a strength born of pure instinct, he rammed his shoulder against the door. Once, twice. On the third try, the metal groaned and the latch popped open. He was free. But he didn't run for the exit. He turned and ran deeper into the building, towards the growing orange glow. Chloe finally smelled the smoke. Tearing off her headphones, she was hit with a wall of heat. Panic seized her. She scrambled for the main evacuation lever, releasing the locks on the outdoor runs, screaming for the dogs to get out. But the smoke was too thick, the layout too confusing. Many of the animals were cowering in fear, too terrified to move. Chloe knew there was a nursery room in the back, where a mother cat had just given birth to a litter of kittens that very afternoon. They were helpless. She tried to move towards it, but the smoke was a black, choking monster, forcing her back. Despair washed over her. It was impossible. That's when she saw him. A shadow moving with purpose through the swirling haze. It was the dog from cage 7. She watched in disbelief as he disappeared into the very room she couldn't reach. A moment later, he emerged. Something small and furry gently held in his mouth. He trotted to the main door, which Chloe had managed to prop open, placed the tiny kitten on the grass outside, and then, without a moment's hesitation, he turned and plunged back into the inferno. 6 times he made the journey. 6 times he faced the flames and the suffocating smoke. Each time he emerged with another life saved, placing each kitten gently beside its siblings. On his final trip, he nudged the mother cat, weak from smoke inhalation, towards the door until she too was safe. Then, his job done, the small, scruffy dog collapsed onto the ground, his body finally surrendering to the ordeal. When the firefighters arrived, they found a scene that defied belief. Chloe, weeping, pointed to the family of cats, huddled together on the grass, and then to the unconscious hero who had saved them. They rushed the dog to an emergency vet, where he was treated for severe smoke inhalation and burns. News of his incredible bravery spread like wildfire. The unadoptable dog was now a legend. The family who had come to the shelter that very morning to adopt a kitten, only to be told to come back later, heard the story. They didn't just want a kitten anymore. They went to the vet clinic where the hero dog was recovering. When he opened his eyes, he wasn't in a cold cage, but in a warm bed, with the gentle hand of a new owner stroking his head. He had been saved by the very lives he had risked his own to rescue. Sometimes, the one you're about to give up on is the one who will save you.